Blog Talk Radio. Happy Wednesday, everyone. This is Sheila Young with myraysoflight Radio. Tonight we're going to be talking about just being me. I know that you're used to us being on Tuesdays and things have been back and forth a little bit, but the show is very important to us tonight, and so we rescheduled it for Wednesday. What does this mean when we say just being me? It's the reality of who you really are. It's the thing that you are privately whenever no one else is watching. It's the thing that you do whenever you're responding with your soul, with your heart, with your mind, and not whenever you're worried about what everyone else is thinking about you or not. It's very important that we do these things. It's very important that we're honest with ourselves and with each other about who we really are. And so tonight, that is exactly what this is about. Tonight, we're just going to be talking about being who we are. It's very important that we do this. We definitely want to hear from you. If you want to give us a call and speak to the host, or if you just want to listen in, our number here is 646-564-9708. You can also check us out on Twitter at lightrays and the number 1. We also have this great and hugely growing Facebook group called MyraysofLight Radio Network. Please join us there. We are talking about highly controversial, very important issues, and that's daily. Daily, we're always talking about what is going on in the world around us and how does that affect us. So we want you to be a part of that. So please join the group. It's pretty much run by all of the participants. We want you to share your thoughts with us, your cares, your concerns, not only about life but the radio show. What would you like to hear about? What would you like to know? What interests you? Where does your heart lie? We want to know what's going on with you. Tonight, like I said, we're going to be talking about just being me. And later on in the show, what we're going to be talking about is the 30-day fruit and veggie challenge. Very important to get healthy. Just great things are going to happen here. Just absolutely fantastic things. Before we get started, I just had a few things I wanted to say to you. Often we are so busy keeping our eye on the prize or the goal that we lose perspective. We might forget that, but just because we have a certain set of goals for ourselves, that our Creator may have had other plans for us. Much of the time, I think the prize isn't actually getting to the top of the hill, but the paths of those we come across on our way up. We are supposed to touch other people. We are intended to help one another heal. Just as we learn more in hardship than when things are going more smoothly, perhaps there is a deeper reason why we experience pain or anguish. We may think we have been running in place, but that is just because we have been doing it for so long, and in our minds, we haven't arrived at our destination. But what if I say to you that your own healing only occurs when you start others to heal too? Start helping others to heal too. We may think that we can help others and not have had to go through these painful circumstances. But it's similar to telling someone how to fly a plane without ever having flown one ourselves. We can feel like we are isolated. Whatever it is which is bearing on our hearts can cause us to feel that no one else understands. Isn't it funny how negatively charged energy can cause us to feel like we have been abandoned? But the truth is, you are never alone. Our Creator is always with us. We are never left in the darkness. God always has a plan for us. And in the end result, He will always bring us closer to Him, or her, or that being. The feeling of isolation is intended to make us feel like God is unloving, unconcerned. But that feeling is false. We are always loved by the Creator of all things. We are all things. We can call the negatively charged energy by many names, depending on who you're speaking to. Some will refer to it as the devil, Satan, Iblis, or Shaitan, to name a few. But regardless of what we refer to it as, it can give us the deceptive impression that because we are dealing with some traumatic event, that our Creator has forsaken us. Even Jesus, when He laid on the cross, asked why God had forsaken Him. When we feel betrayed in this way, we can become angry and hurt. There is a higher purpose for us. When life gets hard, we will always be thrown a life raft. We will only have to be open to it. Perhaps it is as simple as the kind words of a stranger, someone touching your shoulder, a kind smile. No matter what the safety device looked like, it was meant for you, and it was not a coincidence. We have a designated path. Our path may seem impossible for us to get through, but we will. We have all known tragedy. We have experienced illness, abuse, death, destitution. If we live to tell the story of those things, there was a specific reason for it. Do not miss the benefit of the experience. I promise you, it was allowed to happen for a reason. Look for it. How do we know how bright the dawn is? Only because we were allowed to experience the darkness. It is total balancement. We can all walk around in darkness until someone lights a match. We may be in denial about it. We can get used to abuse. We can be convinced that it is normal, which is why we are surrounded by other living beings. This is why we are supposed to look out for one another, to show each other the way out of the darkness. Abuse of any kind is inexcusable. I myself have suffered with it as well, but the only thing that got me through it was the knowledge that I may be able to talk to someone who feels like it's hopeless. And I am here to tell you, there is always hope, even if you cannot see it. Please don't suffer in silence. Your abuser is cowardly, or they wouldn't hide in the shadows. Children of God are not supposed to be abused, mutilated, maimed, or degraded by anyone. No is no. Shine light as often as possible. Guide one another out of the shadows. Remind one another that it is okay to be afraid. Life is a series of events, and some of them are not pleasant, but they all have a reason behind them. Don't mistake kindness for weakness, for we are only able to endure travesties because we are strong beyond measure. Don't measure strength by muscle mass. Our souls are equipped with a survival mechanism, and when you feel that your heart is broken beyond repair, remember the great healer is only a prayer away. It's very important that we take these bits of information and we use them. We use them to comfort us, to help rise us up. I had written a post on Facebook earlier today about queens. A lot of people veer away from that word. What is a queen? Why are you calling yourself a queen? What is this? What is that? It's quite simple. A queen rules her kingdom. She rules it. The king is there to maintain order. But the queen rules that kingdom. She decides what happens. But guess what? The best news is the kingdom I'm talking about is her own life. She rules her life. Every one of us has a queen inside of us. And whenever things are falling apart and it seems like there is just no happy ending to this, when things are overwhelming, when life seems to be falling apart, crumbling at our feet, we need to pull that queen deep out of us. We need to pull her out. Because the truth is that we get to control how it is that we respond and react to everything. It is important that we remember that the way that we say things, our approach, how we feel about things, can alter a day, can alter a life. Not to mention, it's not only going to alter our life, but whoever it is that we come in contact with. This is very important. Today we're talking about just being me. Just being who you are. Not being afraid, not holding back, just being the great person that you are. And never let someone tell you that you aren't. Never let another person tell you what you should or should not be doing. And one of the great things about the show tonight is the 30-day fruit and veggie challenge. And the reason why I included that in the Just Being Me segment is because for so long we've been told things about food that just aren't true. They just simply aren't true. I learned a truth the other day that told me that broccoli has more protein than red meat. And that surprised me because I always thought that you had to eat meat in order to get the protein that your body needs. And it isn't true. But we've all been taught that. We've all been taught that. So tonight's about telling the truth. Let's be honest. What is the truth about what we're doing to our bodies and to our minds? Because whatever you are, whatever you eat, you become. Now that's an old adage, but the truth is that we must take control over what we are putting in our mouths and what comes out of our mouths. It's very important. We become healthy when we start putting healthy foods inside of our bodies. Healthy ideas, thoughts, concerns come out of our mouths, and we are then contributing to a greater cause. We are now contributing to mankind as opposed to taking away from it. What we're going to do right now is we're going to take a brief commercial break. I found this amazing duet online, and their names are Maurice and Shanice. They're a father and daughter duet, and they are street performers. They're an amazing group of people. They truly are. Not only because, as you know, that here at My Rays of Light, we are always encouraging people to be their own boss, have their own businesses, take control of their own lives. But these two amazing people did that, and they did it in such a melodic way that it made me just absolutely fall in love with them. They're going to be singing You've Got a Friend. So in just one moment, we'll return with more My Rays of Light Radio. I am L.M. Young. I'll be back in just one moment.
This is You Got a Friend. When you're down in trouble, need some love and care. Nothing is going right. Just close your eyes and think of me. So I'll be there. Daughter got killed. Even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running.
Welcome back to MyRaysoflight Radio. I'm your host, L.M. Young. Tonight we're talking about just being me and everything that means. Being who you are, being what you are, not being afraid to stand up for yourself or for others, saying what is right, regardless of how anyone else is going to take it. As I mentioned before, we're also going to be talking about the 30-day fruit and veggie challenge, because that is a part of being who we are. We have for so long been putting junk in our bodies because it's quick, it's we don't have to cook it, it's easy. But the truth is that over the years, as we've been doing that, we've also been making ourselves sick and not even realizing it. We have been making our bodies respond to the toxins that we're putting inside of it. So it's very important that we take control over what goes into our mouth. Like I said earlier, whatever you put into your mouth also comes out of your mouth. When you put heavy things in your body, lots of gluten, GMO food, when you're putting all of these things in your body, it weighs you down. It not only weighs down your body, but your spirit and your soul. Your energy is depleted, and we can't figure out why. And I'm here to tell you that this is the reason why. This is the reason why. I'm so happy to have Nadia with me tonight. So we're going to be talking about just being me. Nadia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you tonight?
Oh, pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. We've just been talking a little bit about, just being me and the fruit and veggie challenge, which I think is a splendid idea because, if you can last 30 days, you can last longer than 30 days,
Definitely. A lot of times, somebody said that if you do something for 30 days, it becomes habit after that, or, you can create a new habit. So, yeah, it definitely means you can do it a lot longer, and that's a healthier lifestyle as well.
Exactly. I think you're absolutely right. Anything that you can give up for 30 days, I think that you can give up permanently. If you can last an entire month, then you can give it up. Plus, we're not telling people to start smoking for 30 days. We're telling them to, let's get healthier for 30 days. The whole fruit and vegetable idea is it comes from a much deeper and older place. Everything that we are supposed to consume is supposed to come through the earth. And you and I have talked about this before. And so fruits and vegetables are a natural thing.
Right, you don't actually have to process them, which is why it's so good. And I used to tell people this: if you take a piece of meat and you take an animal and you kill it, and you cut a piece of the part that you're going to eat, and you put that on someone's plate, and then you take a fruit or a vegetable and you put that on someone else's other plate, which one will naturally be more appetizing? Which one would a child gravitate towards naturally as well?
True. I never thought about that, but that's true. I mean, they would rather grab an apple or an orange, a strawberry. They look more appetizing. Look how colorful they are. So it's just the vitamins and the minerals inside the vegetables and the fruit are natural. And the reason why they're so fortified with so many vitamins and minerals is because it's coming through the earth.
Right, exactly. And another concept that's also there is the animal. Let's say for the cow grazes. They get all of their nutrients from grazing. through the fields. And when a person eats the cow or whatever meat that we decided we're going to have, the reason why we're getting the protein is because that animal has digested the protein from the leafy greens, and it is then transferred into a different type of protein in their meat. And then we're getting it secondhand by eating the meat.
Right.
So then you look at the animal and see how strong and robust that animal is after eating those greens. And, looking at that system, you find that it's probably best for you to go straight to the source and make yourself just as healthy as that grazing animal. And then, you compare the grazing animal to the animal that hunts.
That's exactly right. And, right. And, the 30-day fruit and veggie challenge also has a group on Facebook, and they have the most beautiful foods on there. I mean, they have recipes, and, I'm trying to encourage them to create a cookbook because it is amazing, how good the food is. Because, I mean, we're talking about giving up. Okay, what kind of meat are we talking about giving up? Because I know that they had some fish on there. Are they talking about giving up anything that's not a fruit and vegetable?
Right.
Do you know?
You said anything that's not a fruit or vegetable?
Do you know? Are they giving up everything that's not fruit and vegetables? Yeah, because I noticed that they had some pictures of fish, so I just didn't know if the fruit and veggie challenge included eating fish or chicken, or if it was just fruit and vegetables in general.
It should be just the fruit and veggies, because when you actually add the fish and the chicken, it's still not allowing your body to rest and eliminate the waste products as well. If you look at how your body processes the fish, even the fish and the chicken, it doesn't absorb the nutrients as well as the fruit and veggies.
Right. I have to agree about that. Mm-hmm. I have to agree because even when you look at what chickens eat, and the fact that we are poisoning our waters, so it's hopefully, we're going to have somebody on later on. I think Sheila is going to be with us later on, and we are going to be able to discuss more about the fruit and veggie challenge. I was mentioning to our the viewers about how much more protein that broccoli has than red meat, and I was completely surprised by that. I really had no idea. I knew there was a lot of protein in beans, lentils, but for broccoli, I was surprised. I was honestly surprised that it had more protein than red meat did.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. There's
they're always talking about how you need meat for protein. So what we're going to do for just a minute is we're going to take another brief commercial break, and we'll be back in just 1 minute with more My Rays of Light Radio.
I hope your dreams come alive and you never let them crush. I hope you live life so slow, 'cause it's too fast to rush. And when you live and you learn, I hope you never learn enough. The sky is not the limit, so act like you were flying. People will always tell you about that other side, how the grass is always greener the grass is always greener, and the sun, it always shines. And people will always tell you how to live your life. You know what I say to that? This is my life. This is my life.
Welcome back to My Rays of Light radio show. I'm your host, L.M. Young. Tonight we're talking about just being me. I'm joined with my my guest, my co-host, the greatest person I know, Nadia. Thank you for joining me tonight.
You're welcome.
So I was telling everyone yesterday that I had come up with the idea of doing gratitude journals. This also goes along the lines of just being me. The whole purpose of the gratitude journal is really to get our children involved, because children have a very angelic way of looking at the world, where we become tainted often by what we are grateful for. I didn't get that job that I wanted. I didn't get that house that I wanted. I didn't get that car that I wanted. And we forget the things that really, really matter. So my idea was to write gratitude journals along with our children and get them to write 5 things that they are thankful for or grateful for, and then list why they're thankful or grateful for them. And we want to do it over a 30-day period. So what will happen is, after the 30-day period, I will have a show in August, and I will invite all of the children that participated to be on the show and read 1 or 2 entries of their gratitude journals. Now, for those that are interested in doing it, I can have those published in their own handwriting. And the reason why I think that this is a great idea is because whenever your kids are 20 or 30 years old and they're showing, when they're 30 and 40, they're showing their children, what they were thinking about at that age. I think it's an amazing and remarkable thing whenever we look back at our lives at a very innocent time in our life.
That is true. I do remember being more thankful during that age.
Right. Because I think with time, I think what happens is that we have this as children. We're not ever thinking about what we don't have. Mm-hmm. Because you have children yourself. You know that if you get your children something and put it in a box, they are just as enthralled by the box as they are by whatever is inside of the box.
Exactly.
Children, they're so gracious. Children are so gracious, and they're not thinking about it's just a box. Whereas an adult, if we get something that comes from the dollar store and it got put in a box, all we're going to be thinking is, you just went to the dollar store?
Right.
All I got was a dollar store item in a box. What am I going to do with this? Mm-hmm. And children don't look at life that way. Children always look at the world with the glass is half, as opposed to it being half empty. They're always looking at it as, look what I have, not look what I should have. And I think that as adults we do that, and I think that's a huge disservice. So that was my idea behind the gratitude journals, and I really hope that as many people as possible will get involved in it, because I think that it's a healthy thing to do. I think it's healthy for us to remind ourselves every day the things that we're grateful for. Because it's easy for us to count the things that we're angry about.
Right.
It's simple for us to sit there and say, well, I don't have the money that I need. I have a cutoff notice for this. I don't have enough food. I don't have that. I don't have this. But the truth is that, let's talk about the things that you do have. Let's talk about the things that made you smile today. Let's talk about the things that elevated your spirit today, and because your spirit was elevated, you elevated someone else's.
Exactly. And people don't also realize that instead of when you're grateful and you're thinking about the positive things in life, you're actually uplifting yourself and your own spirit, rather than when you're constantly harping on what you don't have or the negatives or what what's bringing you down. That's going to continue putting you in that worse mood.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true. And so I think that a lot of people, even myself, I had to tell myself that also. So it's not something that automatically happens. It's something that we have to retrain ourselves to do. And so I surround myself with people that are very uplifting to me. You, Jay, our producer Razim, all of these people, Jada, all of these people are uplifting, even if it's not their intention to do so. Even if it's just, I had a great day today. Guess what happened today? And just the alone lifts you up. I had seen that I had seen done on some video channel or something, and in a test, you take the participant and you hold their arms straight out, like so they make like a T, and then you tell the person to say, "You're dumb, you're stupid." No, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, 3 times. And then the other person tries to pull down the arms of that person, and they do so quite easily. Then you have them do it again. But this time you say, "I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm beautiful," 3 times. And then they are unable to pull down their arms. The whole purpose of it being that whenever we feel strong in that way, that there is really nothing that that can defeat us. We encounter disease, illness, hardships, heartbreaks all the time. And if we are able to surround ourselves with uplifting people, with uplifting ideas, uplifting spirits, it will help us as well. And it will be much more difficult to defeat us when we surround ourselves with those types of energy.
Right. That energy is actually very powerful.
Exactly. It really is. And people discount it. It's just my tone of voice. I'm just having a bad day. It's just me. It's not you. Yeah, but if you're talking to me, then it's now becoming me.
Right.
It's now becoming me.
I've noticed that a lot of people, I guess when they're in the habit of doing this, they don't notice, it's the subtlety of how they're broken down. But if you compare the two, and you're constantly looking at the stuff that you need, that you want, rather than being grateful, you start to get weighed down. Everything that you do is a lot harder. Right. The energy that you're putting forth in doing anything, you just drain, and you get so tired a whole lot easier than if you just have a positive outlook on things and just happy about everything. You have like a lighter feel, a lighter step. Everything just seems to be so much easier to do.
Exactly. It's all in our choices. It is all in our choices. We can decide. We can decide if we're going to have a great day or a not so great day, but know that everyone you come in contact with, your energy is going to affect them. You're a reflection. You're a reflection. So we get to choose whether we are going to reflect light or not. And whether we're going to reflect love or not. And it's a choice every single day that we make. And no one is saying that life is easy and life is simple and life is even fair sometimes. But But what we are saying, though, is that we can change the world by changing our minds. We can change the world by changing our minds and decide that even if this happened to me, even if this terrible thing has happened to me, if I can smile through it, then I'm going to help someone else smile through something that they are going through.
Exactly. And I don't know if we'll realize, but good moods are actually contagious.
Exactly.
So, making somebody else feel good one day when you need someone else to make you feel good, they actually might be able to, return the favor. And they realize what, a lot of times when you make somebody feel better because you're happy, they actually notice it. It's more of a drastic situation, so they tend to notice it more than you would. And then, one day you're not feeling so good, and they're saying, okay, well, let me return the favor. I know that smile or, that joke that they told me the other day made me feel really good when I wasn't feeling so great. Let me see what I can do for them.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be, we're supposed to be changing the world one person at a time, one thought at a time. We're supposed to be doing that, and it's a duty. It's a duty that we have to try to accomplish that, and hopefully, we'll start doing that. What I wanted to say on a side note was we had just taken a commercial break a few minutes ago, and the music that was played was by Paul Thomas Mitchell, and the song was called My Life. I was touched by this young man because he wrote the song for his father, and it's important. It's a gratitude thing. It's a gratitude thing. This doing some research about this young man, I'm learning that his mother did drugs, his father was an alcoholic. They were very rarely there for him, and his father completely turned his life around so that he could be a better father to his son. And so he wrote the song about him. And I meant to say all of this prior to the song being played, but it goes right along with what we're talking about right now, because the gratitude, the graciousness, the humility, the understanding, because this young man very well could have just been angry. He could have just been mad because his father was an alcoholic. He could have been mad because his mother was addicted to drugs. He could have been just angry all the time about that. But instead of carrying around that anger and frustration, he decided, I'm going to embrace what I have now. I'm going to embrace this. And it was just it's a phenomenal song. I love it. But I just wanted to mention that briefly because it goes right along with what we're talking about with the gratitude, because it's so easy for us to discount things that happen, and we need to try to figure out ways to not do that anymore, in my opinion.
Right, definitely. And I think that should be a mindset that becomes the norm. A lot of people, don't know that. I guess you have to eventually learn that. But that's definitely a type of mindset that has to be, the norm. Right.
It does have to be. We have to change our minds. And it's an old adage, we change your mind to change your life. And it does. Whenever you start looking at things as blessings as opposed to hindrances, then our lives change. That goes right along with what I was saying about the food. When you put positive, energized food in your body, you become a positive, energized being. When you're putting in things in your body that you're not supposed to eat. Take pork, for instance. It's a very controversial food. But the truth is, look at what it eats. Look at what pigs and hogs eat. Swine, do not eat well. They do not eat well. And yet it's a controversial thing about eating. Why you would want to put that in your mouth, I'm not sure. You know, it's a controversial subject. But the truth is that look at what your eating eats. You know, so and it's risky. It's risky because they're eating rocks, they're eating dirt, they're eating feces, you know, and that is what is going into the food that you are eating. That's why we're always, right now especially, we are trying to encourage people to eat fruits and vegetables. It comes out of the earth. It comes from the earth. So that alone tells you that it's good for you. The only thing that it's eating off of is fertilizer, water, sun, all of the things that are good for us.
Right.
So I'm going to go to another commercial break. This young lady's name is Cindy, and she's going to sing Beyonce's "If I Were a Baby." She blows it up. Back in just a few more minutes with My Rays of Light Radio.
Even just for the day, I'd roll out of bed in the morning and throw on what I wanted and go drink beer with the guys and chase after girls. I'd kick it with who I wanted, and I'd never get confronted for it, 'cause they stick up for me. If I were a boy, I think I could understand how it feels to love a girl. I swear I'd be a better man. I'd listen to her.
Welcome back to My Rays of Light Radio. I'm your host, L.M. Young. We've been discussing today just being me and everything that means. We've discussed the gratitude journals, which I'm encouraging everyone to get involved with. It will only take a few moments out of your time to list 5 things that you're grateful for and why you're grateful for them. We encourage all the adult listeners to do it, and we encourage your children to do it. It's a great thing to have. It really is. And we're going to do it for 30 days, and in August we're going to have this big blowout show about it, and hopefully we can get some of the kids to come on and read it to us, and some of the adults to read some of the things that they're grateful for and why. It's a great idea. And it's just another way that we thought it would help bring us all together. I'm going to, again, let you know that you can follow us on Twitter at Light Rays and the number 1, or on Facebook, the name is L.M. Young, or this great, fantastic group that we have going on there, My Rays of Light Radio Network. We're also have some opening for some radio hosts if you're interested. If anyone is interested in having their own show, just give us a line at our website or on our email, which would be myraysoflight@hotmail.com, and our website is myraysoflight.com. So without any further ado, I think we have Sheila on the line who's going to talk more about the 30-day fruit and veggie challenge. Sheila, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I think the 30-day challenge, it's a group on Facebook. It's an open group. I think the point was to just encourage. Some people are taking it, they're just going to eat vegetarian for the month. Others are just, striving to add more fruits and vegetables to the diet in general. And as a person who lives with lupus, actually, I started back in March. I went to the doctor, and one of the metrics that they use is your sedimentation rate, and mine was sky high. He said I had the sed rate of a 90-year-old woman, and I said, there's got to be something besides this prednisone and all the 5-syllable drugs that you can't pronounce. So I looked into it, and my doctor's from India, and he sent me to an Ayurved who gave me a book about eating clean, which is a mostly plant-based diet. And when I tell you that my sed rate went from the mid-80s to it's in 34 last time I checked. It was in 90 days, cut drastically.
Wow. From
eliminating things like dairy, white sugar. I don't eat gluten, and I don't eat soy, which other people can get away with that. But this challenge that we've had has really got me sticking to it, because I was only going to do it for the 30 days, and then I did it for 60, then I did it for 90, and I thought to myself, well, you know what, maybe I'll take the summer off and I'll just kind of eat how I please, all the barbecues and the cookouts. But this came at a good time because I was right about to give up, and I think we have fun in there. We post pictures and recipes, and I think I got an idea from you about the tomatoes with basil. Man,
right.
What a great meal! Just tomatoes, basil, and mozzarella, and some asparagus. Just kind of piled on a plate, and it was delicious.
Oh, you know what? I think that Shay had posted that.
Yes. What a great meal! It looked to me like no, that's a side dish, but no, that was a meal. I mean, we just 2 tomatoes, a couple of asparagus, and some. We used buffalo milk mozzarella. It was delicious. So we do encourage anyone. It's the 30-day fruits and veggies challenge on Facebook, and I believe that you have links on your page as well.
I do. Yeah, definitely.
You have any questions at all?
We're definitely supporting it. What was the name of the book you're telling us about eating?
It's called Clean Cuisine.
Oh, Clean Cuisine.
And when I get done, I posted it all over the place on Facebook. When I get done here, I'll post a link in the room, and on your radio show's room. And other than that, I can just say that the anti-inflammatory properties of certain plants are just fantastic, and a lot of the spices that you use. I use a lot of turmeric. I make some type of a curry dish at least 3 times a week, and I actually take turmeric in a capsule. It just got huge anti-inflammatory properties. So. Right.
Actually, I had heard a lot about that. We use it in almost everything that we cook, because I know that it has an anti-inflammatory property to it. Also, cinnamon is really good for that also.
Cinnamon is huge, and I'm not a big fan of breakfast, which that's another one of my little kind of diet hang-ups is I get up and I don't feel like having waffles or oatmeal or any of this. I found steel-cut oats about a few months ago. It's this new, they've been around forever, but it's Irish oatmeal. That's what Irish people eat. But I found it, and there's no gluten, because there is gluten in Cougar oats. So I started eating this steel-cut oats with just some walnuts and about a tablespoon of cinnamon. It sounds like a lot, but very tasty.
Yeah,
and so if anyone has any... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was surprised when I learned about the properties of cinnamon, but having lupus myself is something that you want to learn about as much as you can, because there are so many medications that they want to give you to fight this illness. And to me, if there is a medication for it, there is also a natural remedy for this.
Well, that's where they got
so I'm always looking for that.
That's where the pharmaceutical companies get their ideas for medication. Is they can't patent a plant compound because it came from the earth, and just because they manipulate it a little bit doesn't mean they can own it and make money from it. So they found a way to synthesize it, and add things to it that can actually, you know, there are things like methotrexate. It's one of the big ones that I was on for a long time. It did help. I wasn't in any pain at all. My kidneys were functioning pretty well. But I was getting skin problems. My hair was falling out. It was just, you know, if you add one chemical to yourself and you're taking on all the side effects of that. And what are the side effects of green peas? There aren't any. You know.
Exactly.
And what are the side effects of kale? Other than it doesn't taste very good unless you do it well.
Right.
It's great. It's great for you. It doesn't make your hair fall out. It doesn't make you put weight on. It doesn't affect, you know, your vision. The methotrexate and prednisone, for one thing. Oh my goodness, that's the devil, if you ask me. But it's necessary in a crisis.
I'm telling you.
It's necessary in a crisis sometimes, but as a long-term therapy for something like this, or for like MS or rheumatoid arthritis, I think it's just awful. So
it is.
I just encourage people to come on if you.
Often.
Yeah.
They give it so much. You know, I went to a rheumatologist last week, and that was the first thing he was like, "Well, we'll get you right on some prednisone." Like, "Oh no, you will not."
No, you won't. And we've got the right as healthcare consumers. I don't call us patients because I don't want to sound sick, but we're healthcare consumers. We've got the right to turn down. You know, we don't go to the grocery store and they force us a certain type of apple. You know, we're paying for the services that we get. We've got the right to look it up and to say no, and to look for alternative therapies. And I really do encourage people to look into plant-based diets. And, you know, that doesn't mean you can't have chicken. It doesn't mean you can't have fish. Do be mindful of what your chicken's fed. I mean, not all chickens are fed watermelon like our friend there, but you know, there are factory-raised animals that are fed just absolute garbage, and if they're fed garbage, so are you. But most communities have a farm where you can pick out the animal you want to eat, and you know what it's eaten, and you know how it's been treated. So I'm not saying that everyone needs to be a vegetarian. It certainly doesn't hurt. But just watch what your meals are eating for their meals.
Right. Exactly. Be aware. Be conscious of what it is that you're eating. I mean, you're so right about, you know, kale not doing any harm. Spinach is a big one for me. I love spinach. And whenever possible, I'm always cooking with it. But you always being aware of, you know, where's your food coming from. If you have the time, if you have this space, I would say grow as much as possible. You know exactly what is happening with the food that you are growing. You know, fish is a big one for me because it has oil in it that's necessary. You know, it's something that I grew up on it. It's really important, but you still have to be careful with fish because look at what we're doing to our waters.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing terrible things to the water, and so we want to always be aware of everything, just as aware that we should be of what we're being taught in school or what our children are being taught in school. Be aware of what you're putting in your mouth. You know, be aware of what you're putting
in your body affects your mind. Oh, yeah. Alternatively, I mean, you've got things like high fructose corn syrup. I blame for the current ADHD epidemic. Not exclusively, of course, but you know, there's a lot of illnesses that people either can eradicate altogether or manage with as minimal drugs as possible. And I hope people that are listening can find this fruit and veggie challenge. It's an open group, like I said, and please, if there are things that we didn't talk about, recipes that you have that you think, and take pictures of your food. People like to see pictures. I personally don't like to do that because I don't think food photographs well. But everyone wants a picture, so post pictures, post recipes, join us, talk about things, and I'd like to get into a little bit more discussion in that group actually too, coming up soon here. So that would be good because I'm gonna hang up now for you, and then I'll get on those few things that I said I would post. And it's always good to talk to you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you
care.
so much for joining me tonight.
Sure. Bye.
We want to thank Sheila for calling in tonight. She has a lot of valuable information. And I do suggest that everyone check out that group. The group, again, is called 30-Day Fruit and Veggie Challenge. There's some very interesting posts in there. Get involved. If you have questions, if you have concerns, please get involved in it. We want to get as many people involved as possible. Again, the book that she was talking about is called Clean Cuisine. If she doesn't get a chance to post it, I'm going to find the book and I'm going to post it in both areas so that we can take a look at that. It's very important that you know what your food does, because just like we were talking about, every prescription starts from a plant. Every prescription starts there. It's about money, people. It's all about the money. So let's try and start eating better, and so we won't have the necessity of the prescriptions. We're going to take another brief commercial break. This music is created by my producer, Rosine Williams. And we'll be back with you in just one moment with more My Rays of Light Radio. welcome back to the My Rays of Light radio show. I am your host, L.M. Young. We have had the most fantastic show tonight. I am so pleased. We've been talking about just being me and all that means. We have been talking about the gratitude journals that we hope that everyone wants to get involved with. We've been talking about the 30-day fruit and veggie challenge that I encourage everyone to get involved with. And also go onto Facebook and check out that group. It is simply called 30-day fruit and veggie challenge. And it's an open group. Anybody can go in there, post pictures, recipes, ask questions. The name of the book that Sheila was telling us about is called. The name of the book is called Clean Cuisine. I can't wait to check out that book. Also, coming up, there's going to be another radio show, not on our network, called Lust Unlimited with Cougar Mama and Closet Nympho, and we wanted to give them a shout-out tonight. But we are also going to be having them on our show at a later date so that we can learn more about the show. Great, fantastic ladies. They really have their stuff together, and I cannot wait to have them on the show. Right now, I have Musa on the line. Musa, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm just great. Musa is part of the Salem High School football team, and he has some information for us. Musa, you want to go ahead and tell the audience what you had to tell me?
Yes. So our Salem football team is running a fundraiser, and it is a $20 coupon book it's a $20 coupon book, and it has coupons for almost everything. Like, I saw more stores in there I even knew about, and we're selling them just $20 a book, and it's just full with coupons and free stuff. So I also saw stuff for food, for stores, just the basic store, and it comes with a little card too. I forgot what the card was about, but I don't have a lot of information at the moment, but I will have more information later.
Okay, that's great. So what we could do is anyone that's interested in supporting the football team, they're in Georgia, by the way. Anyone that's interested in supporting them, please feel free to contact My Rays of Light. You can contact us at the group, My Rays of Light Radio Network. You can contact us through email, myraysoflight@hotmail.com, and we can forward more information to you. Also, as Musa gets more information about this, he'll give it to us, and we will post it in our group so that the information will be available to anyone who's interested in it. Musa, I want to thank you so very much for sharing that with us this evening.
No problem. Thank you.
You have a great evening.
Oh, wait. Before I go.
Yes. Yes.
My email, should I give that out?
Oh, sure.
Okay, my email is musa.florent1996@gmail.com, just in case you want any more information on it directly from me.
That's great.
Okay.
All right,
thank you.
Musa, thank you so much. You have a great evening.
Thank you. Okay, you too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so before we end the show tonight, I had a poem that I wanted to share with everyone. And the poem is called All That You Do. I wonder when it happened, when we started to deface the integrity of others solely based on their race. I'm not even certain when races came to be. We certainly weren't created from this hostility. It is man-made, but I wonder, why would one think that being superior would make all others shrink? One must realize, with the logic we have, that looking down on others just makes us look bad. I mean, God created all things. Who are we to say what is better, who is brighter, how we are living today. We merely exist, I tell you, due to our own selfish pride. It's clear we are making errors. We are barely getting by. The planet is dying. Our air is dirty. Every day we prove why we are unworthy. Yet every single day goes by, more hate being spread, and we are deciding who is better off dead. There is no superior man, no greater race, no perfect culture. This is not our space. May God be patient with our egotistical ways, and may we find gifts in His grace before kneeling to pray. So here's to us all, man and woman alike. Love all skin tones, black, yellow, red, or white. Let us recall with humility the love inserted in our being. Allow us to spread God's joy to all people and things. May we all cross the finish line with the answer to this. Did you give back to my creation, or did you merely exist? What did you contribute? Our Father will ask. Did you love all things? It was your only task. My friends, give love. Be love in all that you do. Shine light and hope as He has shown it on you. Be the greater being. Be the example of our Creator. You are part of a plan of something so much greater. So in looking down on others, remember this poem's for you, reminding all to shine brighter in all that you do. I want to thank all of my guests for being with me tonight. Nadia, Sheila, Musa. Thank you for being who you are, fitting right in with the Just Being Me title of our program tonight. Also, check us out on YouTube. You're just going to need to search for My Rays of Light. All of our programs are going to be listed on YouTube, so you can check them out there as well as on our Blog Talk Radio site. As you go throughout the day, as you go throughout the week to come, write in your gratitude journal. Write about the things that touched you. Write about the things that gave your heart wings. Write about the love and light that you felt, and share it with us in August. My name is L.M. Young, and these are My Rays of Light.